Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this quick video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this really sweet triangular explosion treat holder. This is featuring products from the Sand and Sea product suite. And I absolutely love this little treat holder. See, it's an explosion. This has a Dove chocolate. The one we'll make tonight will put in a Hershey nugget. I do want to give a shout out to fellow demonstrator Sally from sallystampers.com. She created this project but with a 9 by 12 inch piece of designer series paper. It's really easy to size this, so I'll give you some tips and tricks, but thank you, Sally, for the inspiration. So let me go ahead and show you how easy this is to make. We're going to start with a piece of the Sand and Sea designer series paper that measures 4.5 inches by 6 inches. You can get 4 of these out of a sheet of 12 by 12. And along the 4.5 inch side, we're going to score this at 1.5 and 3. And to scale this, if you wanted to make this larger, you basically are scoring it into thirds. So Sally's version was 9 by 12 and she scored it at 3 and 6. This one I scored at 1.5 and 3. That's just 4.5 divided by 3, so each 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to rotate it to the 6 inch side, and we're going to keep the same measurements, but we're going to go 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Again, that is now into quarters, but we have all of these 1.5 inch squares. What you're going to end up with, I'm going to show you the template really quick. You may not be able to tell, but there are actually 12 1.5 inch squares. So with a 9 by 12 version, like Sally's version, they're going to be 12 3-inch squares. So hers was double the size. This I thought was so sweet. A cute little way to give chocolates for just a little random act of kindness. Now, while we have it on the 6-inch side, I got away from myself talking here, we also want to make a little tick mark at 2 1/4. And then I'm going to flip this and do 2 1/4 again. Essentially what we are doing, let me turn it sideways like so, the second square in from the left, we want to make a tick mark that's the halfway point. Those tick marks are going to help us do those diagonal score lines. Now the last thing we want to do on the 6-inch side is then to also make a score line at 4 5/8. Probably bouncing all around here. So let me recap all the measurements. On the 4.5 inch side, we do 1.5 and 3. Rotate it clockwise. We're going to score it at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 4 5/8. And then a tick mark at 2 1/4, flip 2 1/4. Okay, super easy. Hold on to your stylus from the Simply Scored or use the stylus from the Take Your Pick tool. Next, I'm going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Now remember, we have that tiny little section that's just 1/8 of an inch difference in score line. Not sure if you can see that there. That's going to help when we fold this flap over all of this folded paper, okay? Okay, now bringing in the template, let me turn it sideways here. We want those 2 score lines on the right side. We're going to have our tick marks. They're going to be here towards the left. And I've totally misplaced my normal ruler, so my son loaned me his from his little tool kit. I'm going to take my stylus and place that right on the 2 1/4 inch tick mark. Bring in my ruler and then score on the angle. We're basically coming down to the corner of this 1.5 inch square. We're going to do the same thing over here. These diagonal lines you can score, but I'm going to show you on this one to just fold it because it goes much faster that way. But we're going to do those diagonal score lines here where we made those tick marks. All right, so like so, you probably can't see those. Let me see if I can catch the light. There we go. There's those diagonal score lines. Now I've got these 2 really close together score lines towards the top. See that? And I'm going to fold with it in portrait. I'm going to fold on that score line on the right, and this is how we're going to create these diagonal score lines. So I'm going to put my finger there or my bone folder. Just want to show you we've got this score line here. We're going to line it up to match up with this folded edge. Let me do that real quick and then I'll bring it close to the camera. I've done treat holders like this before, just slightly different shape. So like that, we've got the score line, the folded edge, and then we're just lining those up nicely. And what that does is going to give us that diagonal score line here. So I folded that and then came in and burnished it. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite square. Okay, so you can see those diagonal score lines coming in there. I'm gonna rotate it, and we're gonna do the same thing, only we're gonna do it in these two squares, because we're actually gonna cut these two squares away. So fold, getting right there in the corner there, lining up the score line with the folded edge to create that diagonal score line, like so. Same thing over here, like that, okay? We're gonna remove these two corner squares, also that little 1/8 of an inch section, okay? All right, so coming in with paper snips, I've got sort of those two score lines that are close to each other, closer to me. I'm gonna come in and cut up that vertical score line, going then to the second horizontal score line, okay? And then come in to the second score line and remove that corner, okay? Do the same thing over here, like so, okay? Now we wanna make these corners look nice and pretty, so I'm gonna bring in the detailed trio punch, and I like to sort of fold this so I get a flat edge here that helps to feed that into the punch. Like so. All right, so let's start to put this together. I've got the tab at the top. We're gonna fold in these two pieces like so, kind of crisscrossing there. Same thing on the front. Now you'll see that kind of looks like a box. But now what we want to do is sort of pinch in that center section where we did those diagonal score lines. So we'll just gently fold the paper that way. It should go in that direction because we've scored it. But then what we can do is I want to come in and reinforce those. Now it's easier if we sort of bend this backwards. It's just easier to get in and do some burnishing of those diagonal score lines. So just take your time, get the paper in a position where it's easy for you to burnish, and we'll sharpen up those diagonal score lines. Now we want to kind of pop this out. This is the pattern we want to have on the outside, those really cute sea urchins. And then let me show you again. This is how that is gonna go together. So stinking cute. I love this little treat holder. I've opted to do a magnetic closure for this. Velcro dots will work as well. So I'm gonna grab 2 magnets from my stash. I order these in the US from Total Element. You can find a link to these on my favorites page at thepaperpixie.com/favorites. I'm gonna pick up a glue dot with one of the magnets, and then using my take your pick tool, I'm gonna grab that magnet, and I'm gonna place it in this front square here. Again, we're on the inside of the treat holder, and I'm about 3/8 of an inch down from that horizontal score line. See that? Okay, so then let's go ahead and fold this back up again. I'm gonna grab the other magnet and I'm just gonna drop it right on the front. Now, because it's a strong magnet, it's gonna line up right where it needs to go, the right positive and negative. I'm gonna grab another glue dot that we'll place right on that magnet. And now that we've got the glue dot on there, I'm then gonna line this up at the top the way we want it. And then I'm gonna press down and pick up that magnet. And then we'll just press that to reinforce it so that it sticks well to the glue dot. And then that's gonna hold itself together. How cute is that? I love it. All right, so I'm gonna grab our treat. I wanted to show you how the Hershey's Nugget will fit in here. Because these sides fold in, you need to have the Hershey's Nugget in portrait, okay? Now this will not fit something like a Ferrero Rocher or a Lindor truffle because of how much that it folds in, but a Hershey's Nugget or a Dove Promise fits perfectly. I know that a Hershey's Kiss will fit as well. Really, really sweet little treat to give to somebody. Now I meant to show you how awesome the products are in the Sand and Sea suite. We're using this beautiful Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. I'm gonna be using an opal round as well as the Seaside Shells stickers. So let me show you those. You get 3 sheets of stickers. We got starfish, conchs, and scallops. And on the scallop, I'm gonna come in and stamp using the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set and the sentiment for you. I'm gonna stamp that in Night of Navy right onto one of these scallop stickers. Like so. How cute is that? Now these stickers have a little bit of a pearlescent sheen to them. I love the way they look and how quick and easy they are to decorate products using the Sand and Sea suite. So let's set this off to the side to dry for just a few minutes. let's go ahead and tie our little bow. This comes from the Snail Mail Twine Combo Pack. This is the Blushing Bride. And I'm just going to open this really quick and run that right underneath. Right there. So that kind of slides back and forth. We're going to come in and tie this in a bow. And when I do bows, I love to use my reverse tweezers to hold that knot in place. How cute is that little twine bow? I love that. All right, so let's grab our stickers. Start with a conch shell. We're just gonna build a little collage here of shells. And then the finishing touch is a small opal round. These are beautiful. They just look like little glistening droplets of water. And there we have our Sand and Sea Triangular Explosion treat holder in a little mini Pixie-fied version. I love how quick and easy these are to go together. And you know what? There was no adhesive that we used on this project. So I love projects like that. Such a fun little explosion treat holder. Quick and easy. This would be so fun to make multiples of. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe to receive blog updates via email, and you'll receive an email each time I publish a new post. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, the starter kit is the ultimate bundle, and it's a great way to fill your wish list for less. You can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join, and I'd love to welcome you to my team of Paper Pixies and the Stampin' Up! Family. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like complimentary copies of our current catalogs, you can submit a catalog request at thepaperpixie.com/happymail. And if you give this project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.